Hello YouTubies, this is Joker Scribe and thanks for watching one of my incredible YouTube videos. And this is going to be a response to the Everyday Sexism project. And I've been looking at this Twitter page that Laura Bates has, and she has some points. I mean, I'm not going to go totally against it, but there are several things that I don't like about the site. There is the main concern that this is run by a feminist. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it is, but it just feels as if it's so negative. It's actually a very negative site to go to. If you look at it, it just makes people bowl with rage, and they're very angry against men, and they get more and more angry as more posts get put up. They start getting angrier and angrier at men, and it begs the question: is this actually made for a feminist approach towards men, to divide men and women up further, to stop people being, more loving, to make them more fearful of each other, get bigger locks for your door, etc., and just learn to try to keep yourself to yourself, don't socialize. I mean, the whole thing just stinks of feminist approach. It really does. Now that doesn't mean that the person who is running it is a feminist, but I have a feeling that this person has suffered some very bad things in her life, and she's taking it out on men in general. Now, it's been all over the news. I've seen it on the news, I've seen it in the papers. I never trust anything the papers say, because they always have this propaganda spin behind the headlines. There's always something there that they are pushing in a new agenda or something, and this just seems to me to be a distraction for something else. For instance, they're talking about the trolls are saying, oh, they go rape people, etc. I mean, trolls have been saying this for ages. I mean, you really shouldn't even take them seriously. But the police are going all over it. It's been on the news. The biggest threat to the internet are trolls saying, I'm going to come after you with my pencil. I mean, give me a break. You sure it's not the fact that you're trying to hide that there is massive internet fraud going on at the moment? People's profiles on Facebook are being robbed. People's own accounts are being more or less hacked to send out spam as if they're that from that person, and people's ID are being stolen on the internet. People using Trojan horses to steal credit card details, and it goes on. And suddenly the news is all over this Twitter troll on the internet who's just making some bizarre threats to certain people, and I'm not even sure if it's even real. In fact, I doubt that this person is actually meaning it that way. They're just being a tit online, basically. So I don't totally agree with arresting the trolls either. I mean, I don't think that's the big problem. I think the big problem is that this site called Everydaysexism its project, it's on Twitter, is really run by feminists. Now, I'm going to be honest there, I think the person, it's hard to say here, because I don't totally disagree with what they're saying, but I have a problem in that everything is so bloody negative. I mean, what about the nice things men do? Right, listen here. When Phoebe gave birth, I looked after her for 3 months at home, looked after the baby all the time. No layoff, no nothing, helping her all the time. Now, that's what men do. Men support their women. They support people who they care about, and the majority of the time they do not shout abuse at people on the roads. In fact, this is what young males tend to do. It's not what real men do. Real men actually look after the kids at home, they help out, and they also do work as well, and that's what I do. But I don't want to be, pitted against women, because this site here is saying that we're all bad, and every time I write disagreeing with what somebody's saying and saying, actually some of these comments are actually pretty hilarious, and then somebody says, you're a male chauvinist pig, I find that really insulting. So of course I'm going to make a bloody joke out of it, because some of you women out there who are on these sites just hate men. I mean, the whole thing in your blood, I can feel it boiling for hatred towards men. Saying, oh, this person was touching my ass, or pulling down my shirt, etc. And I'm not even sure half these stories are true. And even if they are, it's only the minority of men. It's very, very minority. It's not like the big population. And in fact, those precise men who are doing that are not only rude to you, but they'll be rude to other men in the street too. They'll be throwing eggs at people in the street, men and women, not just women, because you think it's all, down to the fact that you're a woman. No, these guys are stupid. And at night you can guarantee they'll be egging people from the cars, because that's what they do. And that's got nothing to do with equal rights, with sexism, etc. It's just got to do with some young people are just idiots. And they have no respect for other people. It's got nothing to do with men and women hate each other. That is absolutely BS, in my opinion. Now, some things I do agree with her. I mean, I think that women, do a lot for the community, and they can actually be very good in, management, etc. In certain places, they can be absolutely fantastic. In fact, even better than men at some points. But the one thing I don't like is when they say, "Oh, we're always better," because that's not always true either. I mean, some women are good and some women are not. It just depends on who it is. And why can't they have, how would you like it if us men made a site called Everydaysexism project against men? Men have problems too. And we just listed all the horrible things that women do to us men. How would you like it if that happened? Or, divorcing and taking the kids with them, etc., or accusing men of rape when they haven't done it, or stealing the savings of men, or putting out hits on men, etc. Just being nasty. We could list loads of things that happen where women show just how vindictive they can actually be. And you're just saying that somebody tapping your ass in the street is bad. I mean, some of these women are just pure evil. But, it can all be classed towards, it's the majority of women who are doing that, which it is not. But you people on that side are promoting a thing that I cannot accept. You never show the nice things that men do. Maybe you should have a different Twitter account where you actually show as a sort of, how can I put it? It's a sort of place where it shows the standard of how men should act. I mean, there is a word for it, but I just can't remember because I'm been reading some of these hilarious Twitters on that page, and they do actually make me laugh my head off at certain points. I mean, some of the comments are absolutely stupid. And some of them, some people would actually say they're pretty good tips for some of the men. So some of the things that these men are shouting out from their cars are actually pretty hilarious when you think about it. But that doesn't mean that they should do it. But the same people are doing that will actually do it to anybody else, including other men. They are dicks, really. That's what they are. But why not have a different site where you can show as a... what is that bloody word? As a standard for men of what they should actually be doing. Say the nice things what men have done in the past. What have men done for you that has made you feel good about yourself? Because not all men are like that. Some men are actually very supportive. I always hold the gym door for all the pretty ladies at the gym and congratulate them on the workout after they walk through it. I mean, I'm a nice person to women too. I'm not a male chauvinist pig, like some of these people say, and in fact, I think that's very offensive to some of the men out there who are reading some of these tweets. No wonder they decide to troll you people, because you people are rude and obnoxious yourself. In fact, you're a bunch of hypocrites. You come on those sites and you claim that you are the good people, you are the victims, and yet you just do negative things after negative things on that site, promoting all the negative aspects of humanity from men, and it has the vibe of promoting hatred towards men. That's what it really is about. In fact, that's actually illegal when you think about it, but it's all hidden behind this propaganda nonsense that men are not treating women with respect. In fact, some men don't treat anyone with respect. You think that you can combine rape with somebody who is, you know, being a bit of a gobshite through a window is the same thing as rape. It's not. It is not. They are not the same scumbags as those people. People who are raping people or being nasty or child abuse or abusing young kids, I mean, not just girls, by the way, these people are scum. They've nothing to do with men. It's just the fact that some of these people are just deranged in their head. But I don't like being put in the same boat as these people. I think that's very rude and offensive. And you are showing me that that side is about hatred. Now, unless you actually make another Twitter account where you can show, as a principle, the nice things that men do too, you know, not just the bad things, just show some variation, show a standard, show what men should do. And maybe we would have a better world where there's less hatred, where people treat each other with more respect, not just the opposite sex. But, you know, I've had a few experiences where, you know, I've heard men whistle at ladies near a crossing, allowing them to cross, and then suddenly just driving past and blocking my entrance to cross over a road because they were whistling at a girl. Now, who's the victim there? Is it a woman or a man? I thought I was treated worse. And some of these men are just bloody pillocks. It's got nothing to do with the fact that you're a woman. It's just the fact that these people are idiots and deranged in their head. Now, I heard some people say, you know, men are not doing anything when they hear these men going off. What do you expect us to do? Do you expect us to get in a big fight over nothing? Do you expect us to, you know, get a big bat and beat them to death or something? I mean, we're just making other crimes up, and then the men will be blamed. Or, you know, this man was being this outside a window and this person beaten to death. It's a man again, or, you know, the testosterone way. But you women are the ones who are actually promoting hatred in the end. I mean, let's be honest, you know, we're looking at it from this perspective. Women are the ones who actually bring up people in the first place. They're the ones who show the personality and how people should act out to others, and it's their responsibility to actually promote the right things in the first place. Anyway, I've been going on with this video for the last 12 minutes, and part of the problem is I haven't been able to remember several words that I need to say, but it's not scripted. I just wanted to get out my system. Right, so Laura Bates, I don't totally disagree with you. Yes, men should be a little bit more polite to women. They shouldn't be shouting out at cars saying blah blah blah, and they should definitely not be groping women in public. But then again, what can I say? I mean, I don't really see many men groping anybody in public, and I've never seen, well, I've heard them catcalling, but I've never seen actually men pulling skirts down on trams, etc. I've been on a lot of trams and trains. I've seen a lot of drunk women on trains taking a piss, but I've never seen men, you know, harassing them in the way you're saying. So please clarify some of the points, and in fact, just do what I say. You know, I'm a man, I know best. You need to show both sides to men, because otherwise you're just promoting hatred. If you're not showing both sides of the good and the bad, there's no principle to go off for men, and they're just going to be, you know, carry on being gobshites, etc. If you show some of the nice things that men do, you know, maybe some of the women could say, well, this young lad actually helped my grandmother at one point when she was ill. That's a nice thing. In fact, some of the young men do charity work. You know, should they be placed in the same boat as men who rape other women or beat them up? I don't think so. So, you know, show some of the nice things that men do. Let's get a bit of a variation going. It doesn't have to be on the hatred site that you promote. It can be on another Twitter page where you show some of the nice things we do, because we are great after all. That's why, you know, men can become kings even. Anyway, thank you for watching. And by the way, as for, you know, some of these trolls, you know, trolling this woman who was campaigning for, you know, having a woman on notes and money, isn't the Queen actually a woman? And hasn't she been on all the notes in Britain and all the coins that have ever been made in Britain? Yeah. So why do you need even more than that? You just seem to want more for nothing. Whatever. Anyway, see you later and goodbye for now. Thank you, and thanks for the laughs on Twitter. I mean, some of those comments are bloody hilarious. Some really good tips for you lads out there who are just a bit, of that. See you later. Goodbye.